While I was scrolling through TikTok, I came across a video of this lady. She's Black American, so she speaks with the Black American accent. She was saying that I understand why some people are alcoholics and smoke cigarettes, because immediately after childhood, this ish goes downhill. Like, what the f is this anyway? Like, what are we actually doing? What's really making us happy? Does this really make sense? Does this existence make sense? So I started watching more of the videos, and I was mind blown by her honesty. Because we're not honest enough about what we're experiencing as humans. I don't know if we're afraid of being looked at as losers, because people think that if you are honest, you are a loser. Like, if you're gonna be like, yeah, things actually go downhill, you know, after childhood, actually, like, things actually go downhill. People are gonna be like, "What do you mean? Like, I'm winning, I'm happy, and all of this, and all of that." And you know what? People lie a lot. I know a lot of people who are not happy, who pretend to be happy, and who say they're happy, right? But yeah, you're looked at as a loser if you're going to be truly honest about life. It's like everyone knows that life is hard, but you have to pretend as if it's not hard for you, so that people will be like, okay, that means you must be strong. That means you must be the best, basically. Like, you must be the best human. That is why life is not hard for you. It's harder for the people who have weaknesses, because it's kind of like this matrix uh, tortures for our weaknesses. If you're not that good looking, this matrix is gonna torture you. If you can't speak very well, this matrix is gonna torture you. If you're not tall enough, this matrix is gonna torture you. If you're not successful enough, this matrix is gonna torture you. If you're born in a poor family, you know what I'm saying? So people are afraid to say, you know what, man, I don't know. I don't know if this world really makes sense. I don't know. You know, I do want it to make sense, because everyone wants this to make sense. End of the day, this is the only world that we know. So you might think sometimes that if a person is making videos talking about how bad things are in the world, it has to do with them not wanting it to be good. No, no, no. We want this to make sense. We want this to be good. We want this to be beautiful. But we also need to be honest about what is happening now. We also have to be honest about the reality that most of us are facing. I remember someone asked me in the comments, they were saying that I'm very biased. They're like, oh, okay, you're saying that people don't have good jobs. What about me? I have a good job. I'm a coach. I think that person, that's what they say. They said I'm a coach, right? I'm a coach and I love my job. I think this that person is a football coach. I'm not really sure. But yeah, they love their job. So they're like, yeah, why do you say people don't love their jobs? Because I love my job. But like, obviously, I'm speaking in general. Like, most people don't love their jobs. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about the few people who actually love their jobs. You can be lucky. We're not saying that you can't be lucky. We're not saying that things can't go well for you. But how often do things go well for people? How many people in the world would say that things have went well for them? If you're lucky, yes, and it has a lot to do with luck. It sometimes you might tell yourself that it has to do with hard work and all of that. No, it has a lot to do with luck. You have to be born in at the right place at the right time. Meet the right people. Like, a lot of things have to go well for you to be successful. If Jay-Z was born in Africa, he probably wouldn't be, the man that he is today. He probably would not even have discovered hip hop. He would have maybe tried other things, and he wouldn't be as successful as he is, or it wouldn't have worked out for him. If Andrew Tate was born in Africa, maybe he would never even become like a kickboxer. He would be doing something else, and it wouldn't have made him as successful as he is. So there are a lot of things that have to happen for you to become successful. The problem is that once people become successful, they look at themselves and think they're better than everyone else. They don't realize that it had a lot to do with luck. So for you to find the right career for you, it had a lot to do with luck. If I become successful in life, it also had to do with luck. Yes, I would have worked hard to become successful, but it would have also had to do with luck. You can work hard every day and still not succeed. So there has to be the element of luck involved. You because at the end of the day, you you have to rely on the world itself, right? For your success, you don't only rely on yourself. The world can respond the way that it want to respond to you. You can be good enough. I've seen people who are very good at something, but the world said no. Think of it this way. I remember when Conor McGregor fought Khabib. Khabib was way better than Conor, right? But a lot of people thought that Conor was gonna win. I'm not even sure. I'm not sure about the betting odds. I actually have to Google what the betting odds were. But there were a lot of people who wanted Conor to win. Conor had like a crazy fan base. So if Khabib and Conor didn't have to, be inside an octagon together and actually fight, and people had to choose who was the better man between Conor and Khabib, they would have chosen Conor. Not you get what I'm saying. So the world can say no to you even if you're better than everyone. Do you get what I'm saying? Even if you're the best of the best, the world can be like, nope. So because when it comes to fighting, it doesn't matter who you love. It doesn't matter if you love Conor McGregor. It doesn't matter if you love Khabib. It doesn't matter if you love Daniel Cormier. If you love John Jones. If you like Duplessis. If you love Hamza Chimaev. If you like Max Holloway. If you like Ilia Topuria. If you like Charles Oliveira. It doesn't really matter. Once they're in the cage, they're going to prove who's really the better man. You get what I'm saying? But when it comes to life, because we do not have a method to test who is better, then people will still choose who they like. So Trump could find himself running for presidency against someone who's way better than him, but you find that people love him more than they love the guy. So it's not going to matter even if the guy was better, even if the guy was going to really make America great. It doesn't matter because people don't love him, right? So that's how this realm works. So people become successful and be like, yeah, I'm better than everyone. No, you're not. It has to do with how people think. That's it. If people choose you, then that's good. You're lucky. You're lucky that people chose you. And people choose you sometimes because of your charisma, not because you're better, you've done something that proves that you're better, because of your charisma. Conor McGregor was more charismatic than Khabib. Khabib has never been defeated in MMA, ever. Conor McGregor lost a couple of fights in MMA. When he fought Khabib in the UFC, he had lost one fight, if I remember correctly. And for him to even become the lightweight champion, because he was very popular, the president of the UFC, Dana White, was like, yeah, he can fight in the lightweight. He was a featherweight at the time. So to fight for the lightweight, he was actually the first double champion in the UFC. So they allowed him because of his popularity, not because he was like the best fighter or anything like that. So that's how it works in this world, But yeah, we don't want to acknowledge that the whole thing is a scam, and most of us are not doing very well in life, or we're not where we want to be, and it's not even our fault. It's okay to try your best. It's okay to do what you think you must do to make your life better, and that's a good thing. You know why? Because you don't want to be in a situation where you are suffering 24/7. Sometimes you must have good times, so that you will, if you're on the right path, that's good, because you will still be learning what you need to be learning, right? You'll still be evolving, and that's what truly matters at the end of the day. Some people do ask me, why do you call this a hell realm, and you still here, you know no, I'm trying to learn. I'm trying to figure out how this thing works. I'm trying to make myself as strong as possible. Even if sometimes I have to face situations that are very difficult, I have to train myself to still remain stoic in those situations. Why? Because I don't know what is next. What if what's next is going to be harder than this? Will I be ready? Because my intention is to wake up. My intention is to beat all these illusions, right? Is to be able to see through the BS and be detached from all the BS. you know. But that's not going to be an easy process. So if I don't train myself, because I'm in a reality that seem uh, persistent. So because it's persistent, I think I can learn more while I'm here, right? Than in a dream or than in a reality that is constantly changing, right? Because we don't know what's out there. We don't know what we're going to be dealing with. We know that in our dreams, things don't seem to be that stable, right? But here, things seem kind of stable. I know that, you know, we do have the experience that we call the Mandela effect and all of that, but mostly things actually do seem stable. I do like it when people are honest about their feelings, and to me, these are the strongest people. I don't think people who lack intellectual honesty are strong. But if you always gonna lie about how you feel about this reality, I don't think you're strong. I think you're actually weak. Because it's not brave to not speak your mind because you're afraid. There's no bravery in that. So you're afraid. That's why you don't speak your mind. You're like, yo, if I speak my mind, I'm gonna lose my girlfriend. If I speak my mind, I'm gonna lose my friends. If I speak my mind, the people in my community are gonna look. That's not strength. Strength is you being like, you know what, man, this is what I feel is true, and I believe that this is what is true, even if I'm wrong. But this is what I believe to be the truth. So I'm gonna speak that what I believe to be the truth. If in my lifetime I actually get to realize that I was wrong, if I'm wrong, good. I will be able to say to the people that, yo, I was wrong. Right? If it happens that I'm wrong about some things that I'm saying, I'll be able to tell y'all guys that I think I'm wrong. I think I was wrong about this, and I think this is the truth. I'll be able to do that. Like, I'm not gonna double down or be egotistical about everything. Like, yo, I'm always right. I don't know anything. I'm just trying to philosophize. I'm just trying to figure out what's really going on, and I'm trying to do that with everyone. I didn't. I don't make videos trying to prove to people that I know what is going on. My videos are not even about it. My videos are about asking the right questions and making conclusions based on what seem true at our level of consciousness. So what seems true at my level of consciousness? I tell you what seems true. What I'm convinced is the truth at my level of consciousness. So maybe if I keep on having these experiences that I'm having, there will be a lot of things that I'll be learning that will make me, realize what is more true, right? That's what really matters at the end of the day. So yeah, when I watched the video of this lady on TikTok, like, it made me laugh, It made me laugh because she was honest. And she made a lot of videos talking about, how meaningless the whole thing is, the 9 to 5 thing, if it makes sense that we're brought here just to work, you go to school and after school you have to work a 9 to 5. Like, what's really good about that? What makes what makes that meaningful? What makes that beautiful? She's asking a lot of questions on a channel. So this other video where she spoke about the 3-eye atlas. She's like, you know what, man, I can't, like, people keep on talking about the end of the world or some alien spaceship or whatever it is, comet, rock, whatever it is, you know but I feel like a lot of people can't wait for this whole thing to be over. So when I was reading the comments, I came across a comment. Let me read the comment. It's actually funny. It's going to be the title of this video. The comment says, "We don't mind if anything happens. We have nothing to lose." Right? We don't mind if anything happens. Like, that made me think that's how most people feel, even if they don't say anything. Like, if the government said, yo, there's this comet that is headed towards Earth, and yeah, we're not really sure what's gonna happen. once it collides with Earth, I think people are gonna be like, we don't care. I think the real reason why that South African prophet was trending when he said that the rapture was gonna happen on the 23rd of October. Wait, he said 23rd of September, October, no, 23rd of September, not October. He just continued to say, oh, no, no, he got the date wrong. He said it's going to happen on the 6th or the 7th. And then he changed the dates again. He said it was going to happen on the 16th or the 17th. It's crazy. But the reason why this kind of guys, um, trend on social media is because people are tired. People are like, yeah, man, like we've been waiting for this. We want the rapture to happen. Because they're tired. They've experienced a lot of BS in this world that they like, no, 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 man. Like, so yeah, I feel like that's how a lot of people feel, you know. Like we don't mind if anything happens. Like we really have nothing to lose. It's not like I'm a millionaire and I have a lot to lose. Like I build an empire. This world is mine. Things are going my way, like 24/7. I'm that powerful in this realm. No, I'm a slave in this realm. A lot of things are not going my way. Yeah, my life is kind of boring. So what do I really have to lose? Like if they say, yeah, that comment is gonna be it collide with Earth in like a week, will I be stressing? Will I have sleepless nights because of that? Or I'll be like, it's the people who are doing very well in this room will be like, yo, man, yeah, we gotta try to do whatever we can to make sure that that thing doesn't collide with Earth. I think that's why a part of me is like, yo, man, I hope it's aliens. You know, maybe they can tell us something that makes sense because we are really confused. Maybe highly advanced beings can try to explain to us what is really going on and what we really need to be doing. And chances are they will try to deceive us, but someone like me see the truth in deception. If you want to tell me the truth, lie to me. I'm gonna understand. Like I'm gonna get the truth. That's the kind of person that I am. I see the truth in lies. If you tell me the truth, I will doubt that what you're telling me is the truth. But if you lie to me, it's much easier for me to say the truth. So, but still, I do hope that it's aliens, so they can, you know, try to tell us something, so that we try to, evolve, I guess. And I don't mind even if they are coming here and they don't really have good intentions. I still wouldn't mind. I'll be like, it is what it is at the end of the day, because maybe there's a chance that things can change for the better after we've had like a conflict with them. Because this is not it. This can't be life, bro. Like a lot of us are slaves, and we were so used to it because it's a global thing. Back then, there were there was just a group of people that were slaves, right? And they were treated like slaves, and they were kind of okay with it because, well, it was only them who were treated like slaves. But now the whole world, bro, it's just few people who are not slaves, but the whole world is actually enslaved. The whole world is enslaved. It's only few people who are actually able to control everyone. So do you genuinely think that slaves will care if something was to happen to this realm? People will be like, yeah, man, I've been waiting for something to happen because I want something better. Like I don't believe in this. I don't feel like this makes sense. So I'm hoping that there's something better than this. I'm hoping that there's something that actually makes more sense than this, because this is not really making sense to me. I'm pretty sure if you went to like every prison in the world and you told them that there's a spaceship on, even if you don't say the spaceship, actually, you don't tell them that it's a spaceship that's coming, but you say there's a rocket that's coming, and we're not sure if it's not going to destroy the earth, I'm sure the prisoners wouldn't really have a problem. It's that people will be doing very well in this realm will be like, yo, so so this is going to end. These are people who truly be scared, you know. The thing is, if you've been through hell for real, you're not really scared of a lot of things. Like a lot of things ain't gonna scare you. They can tell you that the war is headed towards your country, and you're like you ain't even gonna mind. Do you think a homeless person will care if they said, America is at war with South Africa"? Like a South African man will be like, "Yeah, it was just it was living in the street." Be like, "Hey, that's a real problem." Like they don't care. They have nothing to lose. They don't have a house. They have nothing. Like to them, nothing is really gonna change. You know, even if all the buildings are destroyed, even if the economy of South Africa falls completely, they lost nothing because they had nothing, right? But the people who have real businesses, people who have real money, be like, ish, there's a lot that I'm going to lose because of this war. So they're going to have a problem. These are the people who actually be stressing. So because we weren't treated right in this realm, we don't really care. That is why a lot of people don't even know about this rocket called the three eye atlas. Like if I were to like ask random people in the street if they know that there's a comet, it's a third comet that in recorded history that has ever like um appeared in our solar system. So that means that's history. That's important, right? Like that came from another galaxy. Oh, we don't even know where it comes from, really. But it probably doesn't even come from our galaxy. But yeah, they would. It will be something that they will need to take seriously, but a lot of people don't even know about it. I've asked people actually that I know, like, yo, have you heard something about something that's coming, that's headed towards our solar system, and that might collide with Earth or maybe pass? We don't even know where it's going actually. Like, no, we don't know anything about it. It's probably not even real. Because if it was, we'll know something about it. So people they don't care. They don't care that much about what's gonna happen in this room because of their experiences. Like they've been through so much to care. When you've been through hell, you don't even care. I remember telling you that when my father passed away, because we've been through a lot as a family, we didn't cry. I don't remember seeing my sister crying. My sister's crying. I have two sisters. Actually, I have three sisters. So I have two sisters from my mother and father, and then one sister from like it's my half sister actually. Uh, None of us cried. We have been through a lot that we were always in a state where suffering was something that we always expected. It's like, so it didn't shock us anymore. It doesn't shock us when something bad happens, you know. So it seemed like we were not emotional people. I remember even my mother, she didn't cry. And you think, that's because it's because you didn't love your dad. Like, no, we loved, like, my dad was like, he loved us so much and he tried his best. I'm talking about someone who didn't have money but who tried his best. So we loved him, but we also have been through so much that things don't make us cry. And I can't even call it being tough. It's being numb, right? You've been through so much that you're numb. That if an alien appeared, I'd be like, like I wouldn't even be shocked anymore. Like we've seen a lot in life that nothing is gonna shock us anymore. So I think that's how we are as a collective now. Like people have been through so much that things that are happening don't really affect them the way that they should affect them. So that's why people don't really care about this three-eye atlas thing, right? They are realizing that they are not being treated the way that they want to be treated by life. Like life is not making sense. Life is not what it seems. Life is not what they want it to be. Because you can't tell me that it's a beautiful thing to find yourself in a world where you're not experiencing the things that you want to experience. No one wants to experience nonsense. No one, bro. We want to have the best experiences possible. But it seems like this reality is literally saying no. You don't even have to work hard to have what you want. They've been telling us that, you gotta work hard, this and that. You don't even gotta work. I don't even have to work hard. I didn't even ask for this. Why do I have to work hard? No one has to work hard. You have to have what you want without working hard. And if you feel like you want to expand your awareness and also have new experiences, then that's when you can work hard. But by default, you should be having what you want and you should be satisfied. So, out of curiosity, you might be like, you know what, I have to experience new things. So, let me work towards that. But life is not like that. You suffer if you do nothing. If you're going to chill and do nothing, you're going to suffer. You're not going to be having good experiences. So we can't say that is a good thing or that is a positive thing. It's a negative thing. Suffering can be a positive thing if there's nothing that is being gained from suffering. You know, if it's all unnecessary. And what people are experiencing in this realm is unnecessary suffering. It's not this kind of suffering that people can say, yeah, that's necessary. I understand what I got from this suffering. I understand the level of growth that I've reached through this suffering. No. You find that people have not learned anything. People are demoralized. People have lost the motivation. People are suicidal. People are anxious. Like they don't even want to do anything at all because of the amount of suffering that they've had to experience. They're like, yo, I'm used to failing. Why should I even try? Because I failed every time when I tried. Like they've lost all hope. They've lost the desire to even try anything. So you can't expect this. You can't expect this kind of people to be afraid if there is something that is coming. If they say the rapture is happening in 3 hours, except for people who don't believe in any god, a lot of people wouldn't have a problem. But if you didn't believe in God, you'd be like, ish, what if I've been sinning, so that means I ain't even going to. Not because you're a bad person, but because whatever created this realm makes the rules, right? So whatever created this realm can be like, if you don't have faith in me, you're gonna bend for eternity. And that's what I say. I don't care what you think. If you think it's wrong, fine. But I'm the one with power here. Like power is not a perspective. Power is ability. If I'm able to do what I want, then I'm more powerful than you who might think that, they have a better perspective. They have better ideas. All of that does not matter to me. So can you imagine if the kind of God, that kind of God actually existed? Like that would actually be scary. But yeah, people are not really okay. Check. Try to check up on people. Try to make people trust you, and you try to have real conversations with them. You realize that people are not okay. they want to pretend as if they're okay. They want to pretend as if they're doing well, but they're not okay. People are not okay, man. I don't think that if people were allowed by society to truly be honest, we'll look at life the same. Society doesn't even allow people to be honest. And the people who control society are the ones who are at the top. They are the ones who tell us what is right to think, right? And we don't have enough we don't have confidence in ourselves, enough confidence in ourselves to say, look, we don't think that we should be like this. We think we should be like that. So the people who become successful in our society, they're the ones who say, you must live life this way, you must think this way. This is what that means, and you must believe it, right? If they tell you what they feel is true, then you must believe that that is what is true because of the power that they have, not because they are very intelligent and they've actually realized what the truth is. But yeah, if we were truly allowed to be honest, to talk about our feelings, I think only NPCs would say they're doing well. I don't know, but I think people who are real, man, like if you're born in this realm without your consent, you have no idea what's going on, but you are experiencing everything that's going on, and it's affecting you. I don't think you'll be saying you're okay. No matter how much money you're making, there are people in this world who have a lot of money, but all they're doing is showing off. You're like, is this person even happy every single day, bro? The celebrities who live in my country who are very rich, all they do is show off every day on social media. Like, there's this guy, he's from my tribe. He has a lot of money. He just bought a, what's the name of this car? Damn, I forgot what it's called, but it's a dope car. Uh, oh, it's called a Raptor. I think it's called a Raptor, right? People didn't believe that he bought it, but then he proved to everyone that he bought it. And then I remember I saw a video, like he went live 4 days ago. He was buying iPhone 17, so he's recording everything right for the people and talking about it. Like, yeah, you see now, I'm buying iPhone 17. I'm buying it for my wife. I'm also buying, iPads for my children. So I've actually spent about 100K on this, and he's showing off, and I'm like, really? Are you happy, my dude? There's no way that we will be showing off like that if we're happy. Like, what is the point of showing off? Like when you're truly happy, like, do you like if I really had money and I'm happy, will I put myself at risk by exposing my wealth to people? Will I put myself at risk by doing that, or I'll be like, I don't even want people to know what I have, because what I have is really making me happy. But these people, they be showing off all the time that it makes you ask yourself a lot of questions like, why are you doing that? Like, people who actually have money don't even do that. You don't see Elon Musk doing that. Elon Musk don't. It's not like, yo, man, I just bought this watch for 100 mil. I mean, there's not a watch that worth 100 mil. If there is, then this world is more ridiculous than I thought. So you might look at people who seem to be doing better than you financially, and you're like, this person is happy, like as if money really buys happiness, like a lot of people believe. It doesn't really buy happiness. What it buys is comfort, but comfort is in happiness. What it buys is opportunities, but opportunities don't necessarily make you happy. What it does is buy distractions, but distractions don't make you happy. You must be happy without anything. You must have nothing and be happy. That is happiness. You must be sitting under a tree, no cell phone, nothing basically. It's just you. You are alone. You are sitting under the tree and you are feeling totally happy. I would say that is happiness. But if you are relying on wealth, you're like, yeah, I gotta be it's CEO of this company. That's what's gonna make me happy. You're gonna become the CEO. I mean, I'm not gonna guarantee that you're gonna become the CEO of the company that you want to become the CEO of. But if you do become the CEO of the company that you want to become the CEO of, it doesn't mean that that's gonna automatically make you happy. If you're not happy, you're not happy. You could you could have all the money in the world. You could be the richest human being that ever existed. You are richer than every human being that ever existed, and you're still not happy because you get used to the things that you get. Like, what are you gonna get as a man, really? A lot of men be like, "Yo, if I was rich, I would have a lot of women." Fine, fine. You have all these women, but at some point, it will be nothing. It will be like masturbating. Like, it will be like masturbating to porn, basically. You know, think of people who lived in the past who didn't have porn, who basically thought that porn. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I remember Joe Rogan said something that made me laugh the other day. It was like there was a kid when they were in high school who used to draw pictures of naked women, and he was selling this pic. He was drawing, like he was making drawing of these naked women and was selling these drawings, and people were buying. He was making money. So they basically thought if maybe they had access, like now everyone has access to porn, but it doesn't do anything. It doesn't make people happy. It just makes their life. It makes them more miserable, right? So you would have all this money, and you're like, yo, I gotta have all these women, but you get tired eventually because it's nothing at the end of the day. You know, it's not like you gonna have special orgasm or anything like that. It's just you get used to it. You get used to the cars that you'll be having, the Ferraris, all of that. You get used to it. You get used to your big house. You living in this mansion. You have all kinds of maids in the world. You get used to that. How much food can you eat? How many toilets can you use in a day? Like, what's really gonna make you happy if you're truly rich? Nothing. What you must be happy without nothing, without anything. But the problem is that is not possible, and that tells you that the whole thing is a scam. Because why can't you just generate your own happiness without doing anything? So when the lady said, I understand why some people are alcoholics. Because what are people going to do if a lot of the things that they're doing does not even make them happy? What are they going to do? People are tired of sitting at home with their parents who are disappointed in them because they didn't accomplish the things that they thought they were going to accomplish when they gave birth to them. Because every parent is thinking when they have a child that, oh, this child is going to be something in life, and they think that's what's really great. They don't realize the amount of luck that has to, be involved to even like make things possible for their child. So now they are sitting at home. The parents are disappointed, uh, and they feel they're disappointed in themselves because they're like, yo, if I had a good job, then I'll be happy. Because that's how it feels like. If you don't have money, you'll be like, if I had money, I'll be happy. And really, it just makes you comfortable, but I don't know if it really brings you happiness. I think you'll be happy if you were really meant to be happy, even if you had nothing. As long as you got food, you're surviving. You have access to water, food, shelter. You have clothes. You'll be happy. Happiness shouldn't be coming from something external, because that makes the whole thing a scam. That makes life a scam. If I have to work very hard to find happiness, then the whole thing is a scam. Why should I work to find something that I deserve just by existing? Because why do I even exist if I'm not going to be happy with my existence, right? It's something that I deserve by default. I must have happiness by default, and I must not do something because I'm trying to find happiness. I must do something because it makes sense to do it. And when I think thoroughly, I'm like, okay, it makes sense to do it, right? I mustn't do something because I'm trying to escape suffering and I'm trying to experience happiness. Because that's what's happening. Like, we are doing things because we are trying to escape suffering and we are trying to find happiness. That makes the whole thing a scam. So you are running away from this shadow called suffering, and you're trying to have better experiences in life. And that's your whole life. Since you were a child, you were trying to escape boredom. You're afraid of being bored. You're afraid of uh, feeling lonely, feeling alone, because that is suffering. So you're always trying to find ways to have fun. That's why you do anything at all. If we were born happy and what we were really interested in is the truth and making life better, can you imagine where we would be as a collective? Because people are not doing things because they're trying to feel happy. They are doing things because these are the things that make sense to do. But if we do things because we are only trying to experience happiness, what's gonna happen is that there's gonna be uh, a value alignment problem. If what makes me happy is in what makes you happy, we'll fight. Like, yeah, I'll be happy if the world is like this. You'll be like, I won't be happy unless the world changes. So we're automatically gonna have a conflict. But if really we are happy, all of us, but what we want is to make the world better, we'll have our opinions are going to be the same. We'll realize which opinions are better. When someone comes up with an opinion that is better than every other opinion, we'll be like, okay, this makes complete sense. Like, this person is actually right. Right? Like, this person is actually making sense. Because they're saying something that is going to be helpful for all of us. So what we'll value is the best opinions, not happiness. Remember, I remember Leo Gura, and I told you guys that Leo Gura, and sometimes people be like, why is Leo Gura your favorite philosopher? No, because he does real philosophy. So I remember he spoke about why our needs make us corrupt. Like, for an example, let's say you don't have a home, you're homeless. Even if you're a kind person, if someone lose their wallet, you have nothing, you don't even have a cent. You're probably going to take the wallet, take the money, and maybe leave the wallet alone if you're really a good person. You'll be like, you know what? Okay, this wallet, it has their license, their ID card, and maybe a lot of stuff that they need. I'm taking the money. Why? Because you're broke. But if you're making a decent amount of money and you're a kind person, you'll be like, okay, yeah, there's 500, but I do make money. I do have a decent amount of money. Let me try to find this person and give them their wallet. So he was saying that if we are in a situation where we are deprived of a lot of things that we want, that's when we become corrupt. So do you understand that if people were happy, they wouldn't be corrupt? We wouldn't even have corrupt politicians. Why will they be corrupt? They're happy. They're already satisfied. Their only intention is to do what they're employed to do, what they were elected to do. That's it. They're already happy. They're already satisfied. So what more do they want? But if people are not happy, they will work hard to become happy. So you give them everything that they want, and because they still don't feel happy, they'll be like, I want more. And you're like, what? That's the reason why people who are rich are not even helping people who have nothing. Because you look at people who are rich and you're like, why are they not helping? They're not helping because they're not happy. They're not trying to make you happy. Like, let me, and this is something that a lot of people don't realize. If a person is not happy, they're not going to try to make you happy. Unless they believe, unless they believe that by making you happy, they'll be happy. But if a person is truly happy, they they want to make others happy. If a person is not happy, they want to make you happy. I'm telling you. So these rich people that you're like, oh, this person is super rich. Why are they not helping people? They don't care. Your smile means nothing to them. Maybe you who have nothing, you look at people as your equal, right? And you're like, if I had money, I'll help this person, and that smile would mean a lot to me. You view them as your equal, and that will also make you happy if they're smiling. But someone who's super rich don't even care. You'll be like, why should I care if some African kid is smiling because I helped this kid? Why should I care? Like, honestly, they don't. It doesn't mean anything to them. Like, they don't even think about it, right? It's how we are. So that tells you that people are not even happy. So it doesn't matter if you're at the bottom, if you're at the top. It's the same thing. It's actually a scam. It's always been a scam. So I don't know if there are some people who really have anything to lose. Maybe the people who think they have something to lose, they believe they have something to lose because society told them that they have something to lose, not because they really have anything to lose. The whole thing is a scam, and it's always been a scam. And a lot of people can see that. They might not be that willing to admit that, like that kind of truth. They might not be that willing to see that kind of truth, to acknowledge that kind of truth. Some people, their survival depends on them lying. So sometimes they BS themselves because of that. So even if the truth is obvious, they'll still BS themselves. It's difficult for me to think that someone like Joshua, the guy who predicted the rapture, I mean, it's not like he predicted the rapture; he just made things up. But it's hard for me to think that still believes that what he was saying was true. But it's gonna be difficult for him to be like, you know what, man? Maybe those dreams that I had were just dreams. Because his survival this depends on him BSing himself and BSing other people. Him telling people things that are not true, but making it seem like those things are true. His survival literally depends on that. And some people are so attached to survival that they would rather lie to have all their survival needs met. But some people are like, you know what, man, I value truth more than survival. So even if I don't have friends, or even if I don't have a lot of money, even if I don't have the best cars in the world, even if I don't have the best kind of, like the best kind of home and all of that, it's still fine, because what really matters to me is the truth. What really matters to me is waking up. What truly matters to me is realizing what is truly going on. It's truly realizing what this whole thing is about. At this point, I would say that intellectual honesty is everything. You being honest with yourself, like look within and see what is true, and try to live life representing the truth that you feel is true, right? So you're representing your own truth, you're representing what's going on internally. Even if you're wrong to live life that way, I will still say you will have lived life right, because we still don't know what's going on, and there isn't anyone who's going to confirm to us what's going on, and who's going to tell us what is the best way to live life. Maybe uh there isn't even a best way to live life, but whatever you feel like is the best way, like you being as integrous as possible. And I think a lot of people are not. And I think that's one of the biggest problems. So if you're honest with yourself and you're doing what truly makes sense to you, then I'll say maybe that's the best way you could live life. So that even if it turns out that you're wrong, you look back and be like, yeah, but I was honest. Because I I don't believe that not being honest is the best thing. I truly don't believe that. I can never believe that. So even if I'm wrong, but if I'm being honest and I can feel it deep down that I'm really being honest, then I am living life the way that I should be living life. That means that I'm not living in fear. I'm not allowing fear to control me. I'm not allowing others to control me. So I like people who are real, who are authentic, who are not afraid to speak their mind. So when I came across that video of that lady saying, she feels that like the whole thing is actually meaningless, and like she made a lot of videos actually where she was truly being honest. She's like, yeah, I don't understand this existence and why we worship it so much. Like a lot of things just seem wrong. I was like, this is authenticity. Yes, there will be people who will say that she's crazy, but really, we also have to question their intelligence, or question whether they're real or not, because she's speaking the truth. Sometimes it's not even about people saying something that you resonate with, it's about them saying things that are real. You're like, but this is real, right? This is what is real. This is coming from an honest place. We can say whatever, but there are things that really come from an honest place. There are things that you can tell that no, this is really like this is coming from an honest place. Like I don't know how to I don't know how to dispute what is being said, because it's honest, it's real, right? And sometimes that's all that's needed in the world, but we lack intellectual honesty as a collective. If you're intellectual honest, you're gonna have to deal with a lot of BS in this realm. But I do believe deep down that a lot of people are not okay with this. A lot of people don't feel like this actually makes sense. A lot of people don't feel like this is beautiful. A lot of people wish for something better. They wish that something can happen to make the world better. If something is good, you don't even feel like it can get better. Ever watched a movie that you're like, it's so good that I don't think it can get better? Like, what can happen for, like, what could have, like, how could they have made this video to be better? How could they made this video to be better? How could they have made this movie to be better? How could they have made this song to be better? It's like it's already perfect. You listen to a song and you're like, this is it. It can't get better than this. If they try to add something else, you just ruin the song. This is it. It's as good as it can get. But when you look at life, you're like, there are a lot of things that we would like to see happening to make this better because it's just horrible, you know. We always have ideas on how to fix the problems that we're having. As South Africans, everyone is coming with ideas. Like, yeah, only if we selected this person to become our president, only if uh, we didn't allow the ANC government to take over, if only the government that was uh, in power at the time continued to take over, but racism and apartheid ended, that would have been better. Like we like a lot of things are not okay, and everyone can see that a lot of things are not okay, and that's how it is in every country in the world, right? We are all looking for something that is better because we can sense that this is not as best as it can be. We all can sense that this is not, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is not right. When things are perfect, you won't you don't question anything. You just know that this is what perfection is like. This is what perfection feels like. The reason why people created heaven is because, well, this is not making any sense. They're like, maybe there's a place that's better than this because this can't be it. But obviously, that is made up because we've only had people talk about it. There's never been a supernatural experience that we have had that confirmed the existence of heaven. So it's just humans that been telling us, and we know beyond any reasonable doubt that the human beings lie. It's human nature to lie. People will lie to get what they want, and they will forgive themselves for lying in the end, because it's hard to feel like you are wrong if you are chasing for what you think is going to make you happy, right? Because you're trying to get what you feel is best for you, so it's hard to think that you could be wrong. The same way that people don't judge themselves if they kill animals and eat them. You don't like when you're eating like cow's meat. You don't really think about the cow that died for you to be actually be eating the meat. You don't even think about that. It doesn't even matter to you really. The chicken that you be eating, it doesn't even matter to you. Why? Because you want to like eat something that tastes nice, I guess, right? So when people are unhappy, they tend to do things that are not good in order to feel happy, and don't even feel guilty about these things that they are doing. That's one of the biggest problems that we have. The real truth is that the whole thing is a scam, and A lot of people are realizing that, but they can't be truly honest. Thank you guys for watching this video until the end. Like the video, share the video, subscribe to the channel. Let's keep on growing. Tell me what you think about the video. Thank you all, guys.